Good morning. It's day 2 of the Canadian Institute Cumulative Effects Conference. And here's what's on tap. We're going to have some opening remarks from George Hagman. George is the conference chairman, and I think this is the 4th year in a row he's done it. Does a fantastic job. George is a senior principal at Stantec. So he'll be opening things up today. And then I'm just reading here from the agenda. We get right into a panel. And the panel discussions are always great because there's a lot of interaction between the speakers and the audience. So the panel is looking at cumulative effects of greenhouse gases in the environmental assessment process. So what's the role of cumulative effects assessment in addressing climate change? That should be very interesting. I've been doing some work on climate change too, so I'll be really interested to hear what the speakers have to say there. Then we'll be having a presentation on the development in the full world, cumulative effects, and the need to change how we do project level EA. And then, in the existing legislation, one of the key factors around cumulative effects and whether they need to be mitigated is whether or not they're deemed to be significant. So the next talk is determining the significance of cumulative effects. I'll be very interested to hear what that speaker has to say. It's Alan Elric. He's the manager of environmental impact assessment from the Mackenzie Valley Environmental Impact Review Board. They're having to deal with this, and they're having to make these calls. So it'll be great to hear from a practitioner who's actually doing it. Following that is, after the lunch, is Indigenous knowledge as evidence. Challenges in our current framework and decision-making process. Matthew Whitehead, who's Director of Consultation Lands and Environment for their Woodland Cree First Nation. So it's super challenging and difficult sometimes to bring traditional knowledge, which often is oral or constantly evolving, delivered at the level of the recipient, not always just in some standard form. Doesn't always fit very well or sometimes at all with Western science. So I'm sure he's going to be talking about some of those things as, the challenge of getting that into the legal framework as evidence. And then Dave Nordquist from Adams Lake Indians Band and myself will be presenting Understanding the Cumulative Effects of Land Use and Climate Change for Governance. So we've been talking a lot about the need to not only admire the problem of cumulative effects, but to actually do something about it. And so that's what our presentation is going to be focused on, is tactics and strategies that are being used as we work with the LC's tools, the Raven model, a whole bunch of forecasting tools that help us to evaluate a number of what-if scenarios, find better combinations, and then figure out the governance structure that fits around that. So some of the key bullets in our summary are that it's a review of land use cumulative effects work that we've undertaken in the Adams River watershed. And it's working towards a land and resource governance framework for within Secwepemc Ulu, which is the traditional territory of the Shuswap people, Secwepemc people. Then we'll be talking about achieving direct community engagement. So this is another thing, is that a big part of this has been really working directly with the communities, exploring a few different scenarios. We'll be talking about climate change and mitigation around the potential changes in the hydrograph that are coming, and we'll be looking at some empirical data that we've gathered from Shuswap Lake that's been recorded over the last 30 years. We'll be examining insights and perspective on cumulative effects from an Indigenous worldview, and then sharing some ideas and some learning opportunities for people who want to get going and do stuff like this for themselves. So enough about our presentation, but I'm pretty jacked about it. It's going to be fun. And so following us, Dennis McConaughey is going to be talking about where Canadian carbon and energy policy stands today. And he's the former Executive Vice President of Corporate Development for TransCanada Corporation, and did work on Keystone XL. And then we'll have closing remarks, and it'll be the closing of yet another very successful conference put on and hosted by the Canadian Institute. Their conferences are excellent. I've had the privilege of speaking at many of them, and I highly recommend it. So I hope you're having a great day, and remember that I am going to provide a synopsis of some of the key elements that I'm taking away from this conference. So hit follow and make sure that you get to see those bullet points and understand, even though you weren't able to be at the conference, you'll be able to get a perspective on what's being talked about in cumulative effects today.